Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are the stylists from the back room. We've got co-host with us, Dom, who's been on us before in the past.
Back by popular demand, I hope.
Back by popular demand, indeed.
And the check clearing, hopefully, as well.
John, did the check clear? It's in the mail. It's in the mail.
Ooh, okay.
The problem is it was written in crayon.
Yep.
In yellow ink, in invisible yellow ink.
Gotta hold it till the lemon juice and you gotta burn it.
Except we wrote it on cotton, so it'll completely burn and go poof.
It's a whole Mission Impossible thing, Dom. You're going to open the envelope, it bursts into flames.
Like Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
It'll self-destruct.
Yeah. Good morning, gentlemen. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Eddie, how are you? How's your week going there, Big Shoots?
It's the week before the show.
So it's mass chaos for him, as per usual. Per usual.
Tell me when it's not mass chaos for Eddie.
I just don't understand. Why is it like, yeah, okay, a normal given week, things are rough, things don't go as planned. But for whatever reason, the week before the show, and everybody involved knows it's the week before the show, and just all the BS in the world decides to pile up that week.
Because it's Murphy's Law.
I vote that we change it and call it Eddie's Law.
No, it's Murphy. I've lived my entire life saying, anybody can quote me, when I go to hell, that's the first son of a bitch I'm going to find is Murphy. I'm going to punch him in the face for all of eternity. Every day, I'm just going to blast him in the freaking face. I hate
Like, who are you? I'm Murphy.
Boom. This is for my entire life.
Whatever can go wrong will at the worst possible flipping time. And it's usually as we get closer to events. It always goes that way.
Yeah, I've always mirrored myself after Wile E. Coyote. I always feel like I have the best plans and intentions.
And you're running full speed and you find out that it was just a mural and it's a wall and you.
So that's why I never stand close to you, because the big boulder's going to fall and crush you.
But Acme stock, man, I don't know. Like I was always told, Acme stock is so good.
Got to invest in Acme.
I just want to see Eddie strap himself to the back of strap a rocket onto his back
and light it. And
I do it. The day is still early. I would do it.
So, do we got a quiz here, Big Shoots?
Whoa. All right. Do we have a quiz? All right. We're going to do this multiple choice, Dom.
Okay.
We're going to give you first shot at it. And then we're going to see if John can agree, disagree, or guide you.
Okay.
So there's a hair color question first. Well, we'll do hair color first.
Okay.
The primary reason for hair color fading more quickly on porous hair, is it because porous hair absorbs too much color, too much pigment? Is it because the molecules, the color molecules, can't properly anchor themselves into the hair shaft? Is it because the hair is too tight, or like the cuticle is too tight? Or is it because porosity creates more heat during the processing time when the color is sitting on the hair working?
I'll say option 2, maybe because it's porous, it doesn't fully.
The pigment molecules cannot properly anchor within the cortex.
Yeah, it won't anchor. It won't amalgamate.
It won't amalgamate. Don, how does amalgamation sound to you?
That's my guess. Obviously, I'm not a hair guy, so
I just play one on TV.
Yeah, I play one on a podcast.
Yeah, it's when you're dealing with porous hair, the whole point of porosity is it takes and lets go just as easy. So yes, you're actually correct, Dom.
You are correct.
Actually, we should send Dom a handy dandy color book.
That's upside down.
I know. We should send Dom a handy dandy color book.
Look, I can read. It was like when Avery was little and she'd bring me her little book to read to her, and the whole thing would be upside down and backwards. And she had the story memorized because she heard it read to her so many times. She had no clue that the thing was upside down and backwards.
That's our Avery.
So cute. Oh my gosh. All right. So you know the peroxide, the developer that I mix with your color, to activate it?
Mm-hmm.
What developer volume, which is the strength, is typically the safest and most effective for coverage or using with permanent color in general? Would it be 5 volume, 10 volume, 20 volume, or 30 volume?
Ooh, I got to take a shot in the dark here and just, I'll say 10.
Okay. John?
You're talking to the wrong guy about this. It's 20 volume, first off. And you forgot 40 volume, which is my favorite.
For permanent color and gray coverage.
20 volume, it is. So you're almost there, Dom.
No, Dom, you were correct. Here's the problem. If you're a hairdresser, if your career started 10 years ago, what has it been now? Maybe 15 years ago? If your career started as a hairstylist in this industry 15 years ago, then 20 volume, you were taught on 20 volume. Those of us that have been in the industry longer than 15 years ago, we were taught on 10 volume. And 20 volume was a suggestion in very specific scenarios where the hair was resistant, tight, too much buildup. We didn't recommend pre-clarifying back then either. So we would recommend to use 20 volume for those scenarios. It changed. The reason why I keep mentioning this, it was such a specific thing. It's when OSHA and FDA took oversight on our industry, and it forced everybody to
recalibrate.
And it set up practice standards across the board. And what they discovered was with the new technology in the molecules, 20 volume would help activate the pigment a lot more efficiently and a lot better. The problem what happened with that, though, is 20 volume is still 6% peroxide, and that gives you a level or two of lift. So just like the prior question, depending on porosity. So, I repeat this all the time, but texture, density, and porosity, those are the 3 governing variables. Depending on texture, density, and porosity, sometimes you use 20 volume and you mixed it correctly, you applied it correctly, you timed it correctly. It still doesn't give you proper coverage because it lifted too much. And I love getting those phone calls.
Right. And if I could just add to what Eddie just said, is also those of us that started back in the day, the ammonia content that was in hair color, that's why 10 volume works so well, because that ammonia would swell that hair shaft beautifully, and then you just needed the 10 vol. And then when 20 vol became the standard, because of OSHA and FDA getting involved and really regulating the ammonia content, that's why most colors with 20 volume are now up to 35, 40 minutes. Because with your arc of alkalinity, you need more deposit because you've cleared out a whole bunch of the existing pigment.
It's wild.
True.
Science is fun.
So you were actually half right, Dom.
Woohoo!
I still go with your answer. 10 volume is still the safer bet, in my personal opinion.
It depends. Texture, but yeah, I'll just agree with you.
I know it's we could be at that one for hours.
Yeah.
What type of haircut? Okay, so now we're going to talk about hair cutting.
Okay.
What type of haircut creates the illusion of width, or basically thick, like wider, right? Fuller and wider, because somebody like my kind of face, that my face is more long, more narrow. So do I want V-shape layering? Do I want a graduated bob? that pushes all the hair forward? Do I want a pixie cut, like really short hair? Or do I want just one full length?
I'll say the one full length.
Okay. What do you think, John?
Layered bob, because it'll give you more width. The full length, what it's going to do is it's going to drag down Eddie's face because it's so long. Because think about it from an art standpoint, with that drape that goes this way, it's going to totally elongate his face, where you want to create some width for someone like Eddie.
I had a bob once for a number of years.
Did he buy you dinner?
He was waiting for me with bubbles.
All right, we need to stop. We're going to get in trouble. We'll save this banter for Sunday when we're setting up.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of cross-checking a haircut? Is it to give your hands a rest in between? Is it to review the symmetry and the balance? Is it to add more texture, or is it to blend the haircut better?
Don't talk about cross-checking to a hockey guy. You come on now. You're messing with me here.
After the game we just watched last night, do you watch hockey, John?
No.
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah, they had like 86 or 96 penalty minutes in the third period alone. Everybody was just going nuts.
Edmonton, man, the whole third period was such a throwaway period. It was just
they were useless.
Nonstop violence. There was no hockey played in the third period at all.
Well, that's that old Rodney Dangerfield joke. You know, I went to a boxing match and a hockey game broke out.
Yep. I went to a fight. Yeah, a hockey game broke out.
Yeah, seriously, it's freaking awesome. All right, so what's your guess about a haircut?
I'll rest the fingers.
Need a timeout.
Cramping up.
Cross-checking is to check your symmetry.
It's to check your symmetry.
Symmetry.
All right. Here's an ingredient question. We're talking about smoothing, so we're talking about chemicals now. Which of the following ingredient is commonly found in smoothing products to reduce frizz and block humidity? Would it be sodium chloride? Would it be silicone, hydrogen peroxide, or citric acid?
I'll do to me, the silicone sounds like it would smooth more.
Okay. John?
Citric acid.
Ooh.
Why citric acid?
Because sodium chloride is a permanent straightener.
Oh, yes, you are correct. Let me reread the question. You are correct. Let me reread the question. Which of the following ingredients is commonly found in smoothing products to reduce frizz and block humidity?
Okay. I missed that part. It's silicone.
It is, right.
Way to go, Dom. Way to go. You listen better than I do.
All right, let's see what else we got. Here's a hair extension one for you.
Ooh, my specialty.
What's the key consideration when matching hair extensions to natural color with multiple tones and dimensions? So, like, think about your sister, how she doesn't just have one color hair. She has multiple colors in her hair, right?
Okay.
Is it always to try to match it at the root, at the top? Is it to focus on the lightest pieces through the ends? Is it to choose the most dominant color overall? Or is it to choose the darkest color?
I'm thinking lightest. I'm probably wrong, but
why lightest? Why would you guess that?
I don't know. It would blend overall better. I'm just taking a shot in the dark here.
Fair enough. John?
What hair extension company are we dealing with here? Because,
on this particular one, it's universal. It doesn't matter. This is a general universal hair extension.
I would choose
that everybody runs into.
I would choose the most dominant hair color, but with a lot with especially with Chi, you have some blended hair extensions which should match beautifully, where it has some light and dark in it. But I would go with the most dominant hair color.
It does. That particular brand, the Chi hair extensions, does have mixed colors, and they do have multi-dimensional colors. You are correct. But you are also correct in saying the most dominant color. The problem, Dom, is this is a very common mistake, and your thinking and guessing about it goes right in line with what commonly happens with a lot of stylists.
Mm-hmm.
They always go for the lightest color, thinking lighter color blends better with everything. But what they forget in the most simplest terms of lightness over darkness is that it creates contrast, which then actually shows off the disconnection in color. And if you're dominantly dark and then all of a sudden you have this block of light going over it, it looks like a strong streak of color going through. It doesn't blend in. It actually offsets the variable of difference in color. So you should, if you're trying to blend the most possible, you should sprinkle in some lighter pieces, but you should always go for the darker, the most dominant overall color that you're seeing throughout the hair.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that played out the way I hoped it would.
So, guys, we've done a bunch of shows together, especially the three of us. And besides the chaos that usually ensues beforehand, there's always that level of anxiety that comes. You get the butterflies, you get the jitters, like Eddie calls it. What do you do when that happens? Because you can't just flip out. You can't just, take your stuff and go home. You're stuck. You're there. What do you do? Tell me some of the things that run through your head as we get ready to go. Don't everybody talk at once.
I do a variety of things.
Go first.
I do a variety of things. It all depends, but one thing is regulate your breathing. Most people never think about how they breathe, so you could be hyperventilating, and that builds up on everything. I think you focus on your breathing and overthink that. Just thinking breathe in 3 counts, breathe out, and you could do several cycles of that. That really helps a lot. You okay? No choking
all day, man.
Well, yeah. If you're in direct lines of fumes, yeah. I guess I wouldn't suggest that. With me, I'm always off in the corner breathing.
Eddie?
I don't. You guys, both of you know I'm a hot mess, man, when it comes to right all the way up to the moment of start time, of go time. I am a complete train wreck. I am a raving lunatic. I cannot wait.
I always have to check on him. Yeah, to be like, did you eat? Did you drink? I have to remind him. Otherwise, he will go 48 hours without drinking or eating or anything.
I really am a hot freaking mess. I can't wait to go live. That's why we always start on. Well, it's one of the multiple reasons why we definitely start on time when we do, because I can't wait anymore. Like, that's it. The program's supposed to start at this time. Let's just go.
We do it very fun.
Let's just go. And I can't. It's like, oh, people are still shuffling in. Let's give them a couple of more minutes to get settled. I'm like,
no, I want it over. We're done. I'm contractually obligated at this time.
It's so wild. There is okay, so here's some of my problems. Maybe you guys can talk me through this. Probably it's not going to help. I don't know. It's like, Are we prepared enough? I never feel like we're prepared enough. I feel like there's too much BS that happened the week of and leading up to the show. I don't feel like we prepared enough. And then all of a sudden, we're there and we're trying to set everything up, and you're looking at the room and you're trying to gauge like what you're going to do. And you're like, oh, this is real, man. This is going to happen, you know? And then people start showing up and it's a full room and all eyes are on you. And it's that calm before the storm when it's like, all right, what is going to happen? And you know, you've got 100 people or however many people are in the room and they're judging. They're like, what does this guy look like? What is he dressed? What is he wearing? What is he this? What is he that? What is that on the table? What, you know, what is this chair? What is this table? And it's like, oh, we're going to do this.
That's why you have them see me first when I check them in, and they, oh, okay, I like this.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They see you and they're like, oh, what a nice entry. And then they walk in and here's me in the corner. Ah, son of a, like the Tasmanian devil in the corner with my Acme blueprints. You know, how am I going to catch this Roadrunner? And it's like, all right, here we go. I actually have to give a presentation now. These people are actually going to listen to everything I say. I actually have to say something that's going to make sense, that's going to inspire, that's going to motivate, that's actually going to teach somebody something. And there's no cussing. There's no politics. There's no emotion. You keep your opinions to yourself as much as you can. Whoever asks you a question is allowed to ask a question, and all questions are valid. And you have to treat all questions as such.
I think next to your next to your little roommate in hell next to Murphy is, who are you? I'm the one who invented the old adage, there's no such thing as a stupid question.
Oh,
I was taught this one. There is no such thing as a stupid question, only the dumbass who asked the question.
Oh, well, then maybe you found, yeah, I didn't meet that guy yet.
I got the loophole. I figured out the loophole.
One of my favorite moments with Eddie after all these years of doing all the things that we've done. I don't know if you remember when we were at the Rolling Meadows Club, that big barn. It was a giant barn with the stage. You remember that? And you and I go out.
I remember that show. Okay.
Yeah. One of the Trend Commands. And Eddie and I go on stage. We do our thing. We do our song and dance. And we come off the stage, and I had kicked off my mic, and you had not kicked off your mic. And you looked at me and you went, blank your couch with your mic still on.
Hot mic moment.
Hot mic moment. All of a sudden, Darren comes trucking backstage. And he's like, your mic's still on. You were so nonplussed. You turned it off. We went, we had to prep the models because we're going to bring them back out. Remember, I don't know if you remember, we styled the models real quick. We come back out and everybody is staring at you. And I still remember making this statement. I go, well, Eddie has taught us some new English words today. And everybody died. And everybody came up afterwards. People came up afterwards. You guys are funny. That was funny as heck. But I still, you know, for me, the beforehand, I am very fortunate that most of the stuff that we do together, because I know I've got you and me, and we kind of share a brain most of the time. And I know that I've always got you as backup, and we kind of finish each other's sentences and stuff at this point in life. And we're very fortunate that your insanity only makes me calmer, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Because I know that you we walk in the door an hour and a half before the class starts, and you are a whirling dervish. You're spinning. And I know that I've got to be calm, because if we're both losing our minds, nothing's good is going to happen. So that's a big thing for me is you and your chaos just calms me down. And you always look at me. You always ask me, "We good? We good? We're good, man. We're good." But then, man, the minute it's go time, watching Eddie go into show mode is something that has to be experienced because it is the
Turn my
energy
head around. It's like turning a switch.
Over the top.
Oh yeah, it's like a switch. But watching Eddie go into show mode is something to be experienced because the energy that comes off of him is infectious and it goes through the room. It's amazing to watch, and that's where I feed off of your energy that way. But yeah, it's that's why it's worked so well for so long for the both of us because we play off each other perfectly. And you're high energy, and then me staying about as even as I possibly can. It just works. It works perfectly. And yes, we prepare, and then there's always a curveball. There's always a curveball, and he's about 5'3". Yes, Darren, I'm picking on you. But that's why the three-headed monster has worked, and now we've got Dom, so now we're a four-headed monster. It's a good
The
thing.
free birds now. The horsemen.
We're the four horsemen. I like that. Problem is, half the people watching aren't going to get the wrestling reference.
No, they're not.
So,
Well, if you know, you know.
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
So,
All right,
we've
Dom,
got.
so we'll open ourselves up to a roast from you. So now that you've observed us a handful of times now, you're newer to the team, right?
Mhm.
What do you observe our chaos? You know both of us personally. You've worked now with us, and you've seen our method, I guess, before the show, and then you watch the actual show while we're live, and
Yep.
then you see us as soon as the show ends during the teardown, and then you see us back at home again. So take the audience through the roller coaster of chaos, as John calls it.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, have I got a tale for you?
Oh, here we go.
No. Based off what obviously the information and such that you both know and have years and years of experience, that obviously I don't know any of that. So I have to kind of cast that off on the side. But just assisting and kind of getting bits and pieces there. Yes, like Eddie in pre-show mode is like a Godzilla. Because every little, like the simplest, like pencils, dry erase mark, the littlest things will like a Columbo moment, like, oh, something's bothering me. And even a very minute thing can snowball. So,
yeah.
But Carmelina and I, we do a pretty good job of micro listing and going through things. And I think it feels to me that it really helps you calm down because you're not, you're still you, but you're not as bad. Obviously I wasn't around when you guys first started, but I don't think that you're like, quote unquote, like tantrum, well, not tantrum, but like
hold that
anxiety.
thought for a second.
Yep.
Hold that thought. So John, since we're picking on me, I'll open myself up to this one because it's embarrassing and hilarious all at the same time, so it's worth it. Me pre-Carmelina at a show, me post Carmelina and Dom at a show.
Look, and Eddie is my brother. Okay, my brother. We're battle brothers. But Carmelina and Dom have helped our whole process amazing because at one point, I think it was like the second ABS that Eddie and I worked together, and back then it was the Midwest show. Eddie and I are working together. Eddie is having a Eddie moment, and I'm in the back room. I forget what I was. I think I was pressing out a model or something. All of a sudden, Eddie, but you see the curtain flip. Eddie comes in. It's like a scene from WWE, and he's like, "That's it. Packing my stuff. I'm effing out of here." I'm like, no. You are not leaving me alone. No. But completely different guy. I as much as I adore Carmelina, I appreciate Carmelina too, because she has brought a level of I don't even know what the right word is for Eddie, but it's amazing. And Dom, since you've come on with us, you have helped the both of us. I don't have the right words, but when we get together for a show, for the any presentation or anything, and you guys are there, you guys are so invaluable and have made such a difference. So we can actually, you help us so much because we can actually focus on what we've got to get done, and you guys take care of stuff that it used to be split up between me and Eddie, or mostly Eddie. And let's be honest, Eddie is Atlas. He's got the world on his back. And it is you guys have been such an awesome addition to the team. And but Eddie, before you guys, whew,
I'll tell you this way. When it's actually time to go, when it's actually showtime, I thrive. It is one of my biggest highs is starting the presentation, taking control of the presentation, entertaining that crowd. And by entertainment, comedy, education, science, humility, motivation, help. Okay. Like, that's what I mean. The entertainment encompassing everything. It's the show. And whether it's a class, whether it's a live stream, whether it's whatever the venue is, it doesn't matter. The amount of energy that comes back, that exchange, I don't try to keep it as an equivalent exchange. I try to give far more into it than I get back from it. And I'm just trying, like you said, I'm trying to raise everybody's energy levels so collectively everybody can try to match, to what I'm putting out there. It is such a high when you get that reciprocation back. When we're pre-show, I do feel that way, John. I feel the world's pressure. I feel that weight. I do, because we still care. That's one of the things. We haven't checked out yet. We're not just phoning it in. We actually still care. Every show individually is its own show. It's not, we already did this one, it's just going to be a repeat. We purposefully change, update, modify, enhance, whatever the word you want to use, to custom tailor each program to be its own unique program. And because we have a lot of repeat people who do business with HTB Beauty, the stylists re-attend our programs, and they say it every time on the feedback, is every program always sounds like a fresh program. I always hear something different every single time. It's never repetitive. Even the way the information is delivered is different. They know the information, they know the punchline, but getting to that is even delivered different. And that is by design. That's on purpose. That is one of the very most unique things that we do at HTB Beauty. Having you guys has brought that level of fun during the program to the setup, to the pre-show. Like, I'm actually looking forward to picking you up on Saturday and and yeah, and like goofing off on Saturday, you know, and it's like, all right, what time we got to wake up for Sunday morning? 3, 4 o'clock. We got to get there by
Yeah,
7.
we always make a plan and we always screw it up.
And then in the morning, your sister's like, oh my God, I'm tired. I'm a zombie.
Well, she
And
has to
you're like,
sleep 30 hours a day. She hibernates.
you know, yeah, you and I just walk around in the morning. Should I put my pants on yet? Nah, we still got 5 minutes
Yeah.
left. Yeah, we're okay. You know, it'll be fine.
But it's also good that all of us kind of mesh well, like John said before. You know, I mean, I'm not, you know, super meshed. I mean, you have more experience with him, but we still all flow well. Because I remember that one ABS show where there's always a minor thing that we overlook. It always happens, but the way we just rolled with it, like when you forgot to show, I think it was the lightener or something, and it was like in the middle of the show, and I sprinted down and I grabbed it and I sprinted up, and then I made that off the cuff remark of like, oh, I guess I think they might have gotten rid of it already. So it was like, oh, I'm sorry, we threw that dish away, and the whole audience was like, oh, and then I noticed that right away, and I was like, and I looked at my watch, I'm like, yeah, but it only took me 7 minutes and 14, or, you know, whatever it was, and then it just brought the house down, and it brought the energy level back up again. And you mentioned that, oh my God, that off the cuff remark really saved the show.
It did, and that's the thing, you know. It's John always talks about putting on a face, but you know, the best advice he was ever given, we were at a dinner, the best advice what he was ever given was, you got to keep it real, bro.
You are dead.
And it's those
dead.
kind of comments and those inside things. And he's really taken that to heart all these years, you know. He and it's just it's knowing how to poke each other. It's knowing how to bring everybody together. And it's just the banter. It really is the banter. That's right, Dom. You're right. It's the best banter. And John can share with us some of the banter that he comes up with too.
Dom, you're gonna need to bring two leg braces for Eddie, because first thing Sunday morning, at least Eddie's gonna end up with one broken leg. Because Eddie is poking the bear horribly now. We can't share this story. Why did you bring this up?
You can't share it, but the point, like, look at the camaraderie, though. That's really what you're bringing up.
You know, actually, we can share this story because I'll sanitize it. We got paired with a personality that just did not mesh well with Eddie or myself or actually anybody else. It was person was very ego driven. And Eddie was really, both of us were. I shouldn't say Eddie. Both of us were just like, this is not going to work. And tensions were high. And we get taken out to dinner. And this person throws that comment out there at dinner. You know, I just keep it real. I'm not like these guys. And I literally had to grab the back of Eddie's shirt because Eddie was going to go across the table at this guy. Am I wrong? Tell me, is there anything untrue that I've said yet, Eddie? And I'm holding on to Eddie, and thank God I outweigh Eddie by about 100 pounds. I'm just like, you need to calm down. Because there were but there were people that we were gonna that HTB does business with.
Yeah.
This dinner. If it was just me, him, and Darren, and just our cast of characters, I would have let Eddie kill him. But I would have paid Eddie's bail. But we couldn't do that because we had people that we were doing business with there. And I swear, Eddie started to go up, and I grabbed the back of his shirt, and I'm whispering to Eddie, I'm like, "You need to calm down. You're going to need to calm down." And but the best part about that whole story. And Eddie likes to dig about keeping it real. And actually, Eddie got a sticker sent to him, "Keep it real," by me. But the best part about that is when we got the feedback after that show, everybody really saw the reality of the situation. And Eddie, the feedback that Eddie and I got for our segment was through the roof. And this person, we never even worked with him again because no one wanted him back.
Well, he got the worst reviews.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and that's another thing that why Eddie and I have lasted so long together. And that's why you work so well with us too, Dom, is none of us are egotistical. There's no egos involved. I would eventually love to be able, and Eddie too, I know this, eventually just do the podcast and we could write shows and we would love to find some people to come and do the show, and be the faces because, I'm old. Eddie's getting old. You're young, Dom. But Eddie's right. We poke each other all the time, and that's what keeps it fresh and interesting too. And it's never mean spirited or anything like that between the two of us. Even when we want to kill each other, there's always we've got a great bond, and really everything that we do in the shows, and especially with the team that we've got now, it is a true team effort, which I appreciate you, Dom, and Carm, more than I appreciate Eddie. Because without you guys, it would be me and Eddie, and there would just be a bonfire.
It's so true, though. I think what happens is we care so much about putting on a performance for the audience. It's not putting on a performance for ourselves. And I think that's what a lot of people who are doing presentations, they get nervous for doing public speaking, or they get nervous in going in front of their peers, and people literally close down. They don't want to do it. I think what ends up happening is you're too focused and worrying about how you're going to look and what you're going to be and what people are going to say about you. And you kind of forget. It's like, well, yeah, it's about you because you're the one doing it. Yeah, sure. But at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about making a difference to somebody in that audience. You need to touch one person. You need to get through to one person. And if obviously you want to help more than one, but it starts with one at a time. And if you can make a difference to one person, it's that pay it forward mentality, and it just snowballs and it just evolves and it gets better. And I say this a lot, when you're in front of a crowd, a third of the people by default are just going to dislike you. It's not going to mesh. The personalities are just going to crash against each other. And another third of the audience, no matter what you do, you could bomb terribly and it wouldn't matter. Your personality is going to connect. You're going to intertwine with somebody. You're going to mesh. There is that middle third that's left over who is on the fence, and it can go either way. It's like you're like on a seesaw battle, and it can go either way. That's the third that you got to worry about. And inside of that third, there is a person who is attending, who is looking for an answer to something which they may or may not realize or know. That could be the next person that you could have been a part of and not even they may not even realize you were a part of it. You may not even realize you were a part of that person's career, life, decision, something, whatever. But that's the whole purpose of why we do what we do. If you are presenting something, if you are creating something, if you are putting yourself out there for consumption, whether it's content, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, whatever it is, that's the whole point of what we're trying to accomplish, So as far as the pre-show jitters go, yeah, absolutely. I'm always going to be a mental wreck because I do that to myself. What I have learned over the years, though, is I was worried about looking bad. And I don't care about that anymore. Now that's what I'm focused on. Who is it in that audience that I can help? And if I can get one good feedback, obviously you always want more. But if you can get one good feedback from somebody, and hear that you made a difference to that person, you connected to that person, worth it. 100% worth it. Worth getting all the hate, worth getting all the I don't want to say fake love, because people do love what you do. But you know those people, they just love everything you do. So it makes you inspired to keep going and motivated to keep going. It balances out all the haters, definitely let you know that they don't like it. So it's great to have the people that love it balance that out. But getting that one comment from left field that you weren't expecting, that's a positive one, man, does that
Worth its
you
weight in
ride that
gold.
high for a long time.
It's worth its weight in gold.
Mhm.
So that's the pre-show jitters, guys. This, you kind of gotta look at into what goes through all of our heads. Dom, I have a question for you.
Sure.
What is your favorite motivational quote?
Ooh, there's many, but I think one that that resonated with me from like grade school onward. I believe it's from Buddhism, and it's about basically like, you know, we are all candles that are lit, and I believe the Buddha goes, blowing out other people's candles doesn't make you brighter. It just dims the world. If you help light and enrich other people's candles, that's what truly enlightens. And that's like, yeah. And I think society as a whole needs to remember that, because there's so many people that feel like if I could just use you as a ladder and just drag you down and stand up, I'm going to stand up higher. And it's like, no. I think that's a main pretty good.
I like
quote.
that. I like that. And that goes right along. That's awesome, Dom. Because that goes right along with what you were just talking about, Eddie.
It's a fantastic quote.
And that was just off the cuff. I just asked Dom off the cuff. That's fantastic. I can't even say anything to that because it speaks for itself.
It's so true. It's so perfect. It really does encompass that really, when Darren pitched me the whole concept of HTB Beauty in the very, very beginning, and his vision for what he wanted this to become one day, that's what it was. That's what it was. How do we brighten? How do we keep everybody else's candle lit and brighter, and bring everybody up together? It was phenomenal.
That's awesome.
It was absolutely phenomenal. I love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome, guys. In the quote, send us. Put in the messages or in the quotes, in the chat or anything. Let us know. Let us know what you thought about everything we gave you today. Let us know what you do when you have to, be in front of people, or what goes through you, how you motivate yourself. We want to know. We want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, sure.
We greatly appreciate everybody that comments, everybody that has been with us for this awesome ride. We're not even at the top of the roller coaster yet. So stay in touch with us. Keep tuning in. My brain just went completely blank.
I'll tell you this way. This Monday, what is that? The
16.
What is the date for Monday?
16.
Monday, the 16th, for all of you that are going to be with us in Downers Grove for the CE Hour event. For those of you returning to one of our programs, you know exactly what we're talking about because you see how it is. For those of you that are going to be new, let this be a little preview of what's to come. And when we're excited to see you and meet you for the first time, right?
Yes.
And that's what Monday is all about. Definitely go to htbbeauty.com if you still need your hours and you need to attend. I think there's a handful of spots like we're close to sellout. So I knew this one, just like the prior two sold out. I knew this one was, well, I wasn't sure what this one was going to do. I'm pleasantly surprised how well this one has performed.
Who was right, Eddie? Who's right? Who's right?
You
Who's
and
correct?
Darren were both right. I was hoping I would be
Record
wrong
this, Dom. Record this. He said me and Darren were right.
about this program, about this singular program.
Everything else we're
First
wrong about, I
time
know.
in 20 years, John and Darren made a right call.
Hey, we appreciate each and every one of you. We thank you guys for all your support. If you want to support us more, once again, go to htbbeauty.com. We love each and every one of you. And guys, keep making a difference one client at a time. There we go. I'm dying today. We appreciate Dom. Thanks for being here, Dom. Thank you for everything you do for us. We greatly appreciate you, buddy.
Yep. I think like every 6 weeks I could be a regular guest. So you'll see much more of me.
If you guys,
By popular demand.
Dom was back by popular demand. So this is how we can work this into his schedule. So for all of you that have been asking about him, this is your opportunity to call out to him. If there's a particular topic that you want him to cover, let us know, and we'll definitely set it up. So
I do birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, open for commissions.
Guys, thank you, and we will see you guys next week with post show.
Yep. Oh, the post.
The SFTB podcast was not recorded in front of a live studio audience, so thanks for joining us for today's episode. If our hair topics made you smile, give us a thumbs up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll read them while waiting for our caller to process. Share this video with your stylists and friends. It helps us make a difference, one strand at a time. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Because your hair deserves all the latest and greatest tips.